So one of the things that we see at Prism, sort of two things, but with the same, I guess, consequence, is that like, A, we work with a lot of people who have ADHD, and so they'll eat because they require more external stimulation to like get the reward center of their brain going, right? And so we've got some disordered eating in that sense. And then we also work with a lot of transgender and non-binary folks who like more or less shut off their connection with their body as a means of survival, right? And so
Yes.
it seems to me from a mental health perspective that like those would be two sort of challenging populations to work with for different reasons, but like it has to do, intuitive eating specifically has to do with being embodied, right?
Yeah.
Aware of your cues and aware of what's happening. And so how would you work? We'll divide it up. So
Yeah.
how would you work with someone who has ADHD and one of their mechanisms for like pinging off that reward center in the brain is food? We'll start with that one.
That's a very good question. And that can also be challenging and highly individualized
Yeah.
because lots of issues. I have a dear friend of mine who has pretty severe ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had many conversations about this. I think that it's still very important to help the person that I'm working with tune in
Mm-hmm.
to those internal cues. So really pay attention to learn what that feels like to be hungry
Mm-hmm.
and to be full and satisfied. And I know there are medications that can sometimes circumvent
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So it is a little bit more difficult, but it still can be done where they can learn to feel somewhat hungry and be able to then stop when they're full. Because a lot of the meds for ADHD actually kind of reduce hunger.
Breast hunger. Yeah.
But um, they still can
Mm-hmm.
feel feelings of hunger, but it does take more effort
Mm-hmm.
to feel that. And in some cases, and I'm also thinking of my friend, she has to kind of have a schedule
Mm-hmm.
and a like an eating plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so like she knows that she does need to eat in the morning, even though she may not be super hungry, but that she knows she will feel better, function better if she has something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then so she has kind of like this schedule laid out as to when she should probably eat. Now granted, it kind of is not exactly intuitive eating because sometimes she needs to eat 4 hours after breakfast. She may not be hungry, just some
Right.
also
Yeah.
saying a lot of people with ADHD may not feel hungry,
Mm-hmm.
so they may have to kind of do a hybrid
Yeah.
thing where they still learn. It's still important to pay attention to what our body is telling us and learning to respect that
Mm-hmm.
and to pay attention to it, but also acknowledging that they may not have those strong feelings of hunger, but their body will function better, will be healthier
Mm-hmm.
if they eat. So it's a little bit of both.